What's up, everyone? I'm Guy Wozniak, and this is episode number 23, if I'm not mistaken, of Comic Book Jeopardy. Yeah, I think I've lost count at this point. Now, you are, of course, watching the Comic Book Guy channel, and on this episode of the show, we have 31 new questions and answers for you to test your knowledge across all things comic books and more. Now, if you're a regular viewer of the show, you know my good friend and co-host Matt, of course, and unfortunately he won't be here today to run you through the game board, but hopefully I will serve as an acceptable understudy and get you through today's game. Speaking of the game, we have 6 new categories for you today, but before we go over those, I want to say a quick word about the rules of this game. And yes, truth be told, there's not really any hard and fast rules. You can play however you like, but here's what I suggest you do. If you answer questions correctly, go ahead and keep score, tally up your score with every correct answer. But as I always say, you don't have to take points away for getting answers wrong if you don't want to. I never do it. But feel free to play the game as a Jeopardy purist and keep score by subtracting points if you'd like to make it extra hard and make the game more fun for you. Now, with that said, here are the most important rules of the game. You have to make sure that you leave your total score down in the comments below at the end of the game. We want to see all of those high scores, so don't let us down, please. Now, let's get on to the categories for this week. Category number 1 today will be Iron Man, and we have 5 questions for you, all pertaining to the invincible Iron Man himself. Category number 2 today is Magical Menace, and we're talking about magically powered supervillains and all-around bad guys in this one. Our third category this week will be Good, Then Evil, and there are plenty of good guys who turned bad in comics, and we will be testing your knowledge on those characters today. Category 4 will be Eggheads, which is a bit of a pejorative term for big-brained smart guys, and yeah, that's what we have here in the category today. A bunch of really smart comic book characters. Category number 5 is Aliens, and no, we're not talking about the movie Aliens, which is, in my opinion, an all-time great. What we're talking about are alien comic book characters and races here today. And finally, category number 6 is Jaws, one of my all-time favorite movies, as if you couldn't tell by the shirt I'm wearing today. And no, this isn't a comic-related category, because every week we have a pop culture wildcard category, and today is the day that we tackle a great white shark named Bruce that made going in the water a traumatic experience for children for generations. Now, with the category explanations out of the way, let's dive straight into the questions and get this game going. Iron Man for 200. He is his longtime friend and currently uses the War Machine armor. Who is James Rhodes, or Rhodey? Magical Menace for 200. This technical genius and ruler of Latveria is also an extremely powerful magic user. Who is Dr. Doom, or Victor Von Doom? Good Then Evil for 200. Hal Jordan goes insane after the destruction of Coast City and becomes this villain. Who is Parallax? Eggheads for 200. This wall-crawling superhero was a childhood science prodigy that for some reason initially chose a profession in photojournalism when he wasn't web-slinging, of course. Who is Peter Parker, or Spider-Man? Yeah, Peter probably should have gotten into working in the sciences a little earlier in life. Maybe he'd have had an easier time making ends meet and gotten rid of some of that Parker bad luck. Aliens for 200. This alien was found to be worthy to wield Thor's hammer and was even granted his own enchanted hammer by Odin. Who is Beta Ray Bill? And Jaws for 200. In the 1975 Steven Spielberg classic Jaws, a great white shark terrorized this small fictional town located off the coast of New England. What is Amity Island? Yeah, of course. All right, that will do it for the cupcake round. Now, I hope you guys went 6 out of 6 on this one. And good luck with the 400-point round, because here we go. Iron Man for 400. His full name is Anthony Blank Stark. What is Anthony Edward Stark? Magical Menace for 400. This evil sorcerer is thousands of years old and has fought the Justice League on numerous occasions since his first appearance in Justice League of America number 10 in 1962. Who is Felix Faust? Now, I'll admit, my DC knowledge isn't nearly as deep as my Marvel is, but I've honestly never heard of this character. Matt wrote this question, and I'm gonna have to ask him more about this Felix Faust guy, I think. Good Then Evil for 400. This older version of the Hulk first appeared in Incredible Hulk Future Imperfect, the 2-part miniseries. Who is Maestro? Eggheads for 400. This hero, who has gone through numerous different costumed identities, is responsible for the creation of the Avengers' greatest robotic threat, Ultron. Who is Hank Pym? Aliens for 400. She's a Tamaranian princess and a member of the Teen Titans. Who is Starfire? Jaws for 400. The film's primary protagonist, Chief Martin Brody, was played by this actor. Who is Roy Scheider? Now with the 400 pointers down, let's dive into the 600 point round. Just beware of sharks. Iron Man for 600. This famous storyline showed Tony Stark wrestle with alcoholism in Iron Man numbers 120 through number 128. What is Demon in a Bottle? And yeah, that cover, Iron Man number 128, I think that is 128. That is one of the all-time greats, I gotta say. Magical Menace for 600. This demonic villain from the Spawn series disguises himself as a 3'10" fat, bald clown. Who is Violator? All right, now I got a genuine question here. Was the clown or Violator actually magical in nature, or is being a demon hellspawn not the same thing? I want you guys to debate it amongst yourselves in the comments and let me know. Good Then Evil for 600. This Gotham City district attorney and Batman ally became a disfigured criminal mastermind after an acid attack destroyed half his face. Who is Two-Face, or Harvey Dent? Eggheads for 600. This gamma-powered villain with an oversized head has plagued the Hulk since his debut way back in Tales to Astonish number 62. Who is the leader? Aliens for 600. He's the gruff drill sergeant of the Green Lantern Corps. Who is Kilowog? And Jaws for 600. Robert Shaw played this character, a rough around the edges shark hunter. Who is Quint? Yeah, I loved Quint in that movie. He was definitely my favorite character, for sure. But what's interesting is when I was writing this question, I tried to look up, like, what was his first name or what was his last name? Maybe that was his last name, first name, I'm not sure. Turns out Quint was just his name. He didn't have a first and last name. Who knew? Yeah, let's jump into the 800 pointers now. Iron Man for 800. This silver and red suit of armor replaced his classic golden red suit that he had worn for nearly 20 years. What is the Silver Centurion armor? Magical Menace for 800. This former Angel of Wrath was imprisoned in a black diamond called the Heart of Darkness. Who is Eclipso? Good Then Evil for 800. The Ultimate Universe version of Reed Richards becomes this villain after the events of The Ultimatum and being rejected by Sue Storm. Who is the Maker? Eggheads for 800. This robotics genius created the Metal Men. Who is Dr. Will Magnus? Aliens for 800. And there we have our weekly daily double. Now, I know you know how it works, but go ahead and wager any amount of points that you've already earned on this question in the category of aliens. The Kree were first introduced in issue number 65 of this Marvel title in 1967. What is Fantastic Four? Well, how'd you guys do on the Daily Double? Did you get it right, and did you make it a true Daily Double? I hope you did double your score. And now on to Jaws for 800. The classic line, "You're gonna need a bigger boat," was uttered by Chief Brody when he first saw the shark. This was the name of the boat that they were on. What is the Orca? I actually have the Jaws Orca Lego set. That thing is awesome. I love that boat. And yeah, what's more awesome is my wife and my friend Jason built it for me, so I didn't even need to worry about that tedious task. I'm not a fan of assembling Legos. But anyway, let's wrap up the show with the 1,000 point questions. I hope you're ready. Iron Man for 1,000. This alternate reality race of aliens found an arsenal of Iron Man weaponry on their planet, and they modeled their entire civilization on it. Who are the Stark? Magical menaces for 1,000. This alchemist from the 9th century and a frequent Fantastic Four foe sold his soul to Mephisto for everlasting life. Who is Diablo? Good then evil for 1,000. Known as the smartest man on Earth and a superhero, he engineered a mass casualty event by convincing the world they were under extraterrestrial attack from a telepathic, squid-like alien race. Who is Ozymandias, or Adrian Veidt? And of course, we're talking about Ozymandias from the seminal work known as The Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons, an absolutely phenomenal story and work of art. Eggheads for 1,000. This villain suffers from thanatophobia and created the Amazo android to aid in his efforts to achieve immortality. Who is Professor Ivo? Aliens for 1,000. This series from the Epic line of Marvel Comics featured a multi-species military unit of misfits and criminals often sent out on suicide missions. What is Alien Legion? And finally, Jaws for 1,000. Jaws was a suspense novel written and published in 1974 by this American author. Who is Peter Benchley? And that brings us to Final Jeopardy, and I'm sure you know how this works, but in case you don't, here it is. You can wager any number of points that you've previously earned on this final question of the show from a category of Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. So yeah, I hope you're ready to test yourself and your knowledge on the DC Comics character, Lois Lane. Now, here's the final Jeopardy question. Lois Lane is most famous for her job as an investigative reporter, but journalism isn't her only career. In Action Comics number 191, Lois revealed that she also studied for this profession, which she occasionally worked when taking a sabbatical from the Daily Planet. What is a nurse? Yeah, I gotta say, I didn't know this one. Lois worked as a nurse on several occasions, apparently, including comic books such as Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, issues number 43 and 80. She was a volunteer nurse at different points at the hospital, and she apparently used her position as a nurse to investigate some sort of criminal plot, which does seem a little bit questionably ethical if she was also there to provide patient care. But maybe I'll have to go back and read those old stories and see what actually happened. It does sound kind of interesting. Now, with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this show up for today. So, as always, I say thanks for tuning in and watching. I really do appreciate it. But before you go, do me a favor and hit those like and subscribe buttons on your way out. We're actually at just about 9,000 subscribers, which is unbelievable. And we need your help to continue to grow the channel. So please hit that subscribe button. Now, I'll go ahead and close this out by saying, as always, keep collecting comments and keep supporting your local comic book stores. Keep watching our videos. We need the support as well. And until the next one, bye now.